Hello everyone, Emma Power here and welcome back to a new video. In this one I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be taking a look at the Singleton format in Expanded. So this video was inspired by 10 Type's own similar video, so if you want to, I do recommend checking out his channel and that video, and I'll leave a link to it in the description or the comment section. So essentially what Singleton is that you can only use one copy of a Pokemon or a trainer card or a special energy except for basic energy. So basic energy is exempt from the rule, but everything else has to be a single copy. Now this may sound very similar to a different format, GLC. So GLC is essentially a single price version of Singleton, but you can only play one type and you can also only play single price Pokemon. So GLC, a little bit more restrictive than this. This is aiming to branch out to use VMAX, V-Star, all the other mechanics essentially with the rule box. So it is more powerful in that regard, but you are still limited to one copy of everything. So as far as I'm aware, Singleton is not limited to just one typing, or at least in the video for source of inspiration, it was not. So I assume you can branch out. So for this deck, I decided to run a mismatch of both grass and lightning, as well as some dragon types, which will be used for support. And then our only other Pokemon really is Radiant Greninja, just because it has a very strong ability, Concealed Cards, allowing us to discard energy to draw 2 cards. So our main kind of strategy in this deck is to use Dragonite V-Star, because God forbid I actually use a V-Star that's actually any good. So Dragonite V-Star has a pretty cool attack, Draconic Star, that allows us to look at the top 12 cards of your deck and attach any number of water or lightning energy cards. And so we're essentially using this to accelerate our lightning energy from our deck. Now we do play high counter grass, we don't play any basic waters, but we do play double dragon energy. So if you want to attack with Dragonite, you can. But Dragonite is mainly here for Draconic Star. If you have a better V-Star power that you'd want to use, then that's fine. Arceus is obviously like the best one to use, but I think Arceus is like the boring man's route, to be honest. I'd rather use a V-Star that's, more experimental or whatever, so feel free to use whatever one you want. Also, I'm playing a Rayquaza. It has a cool ability, Stormy Winds. It just thins the deck by 3 and allows us to attach an energy card to it. Dragon Break, also doing 30 for each basic lightning and grass energy in play, is pretty cool. And then Tempest Dive is one of 2 optional GX moves that we have, allowing you to discard your hand and draw 10 cards. We also play the 1/1/1 line of Vikavolt that has the ability Strong Charge, allowing us to accelerate a grass and a lightning from the deck, which is pretty cool. We also play a copy of Leafeon V with Greeting Cells, allowing you to, once in your turn, search your deck for grass energy, attach it to one of your Pokemon. If you use the ability though, the turn does end. So very strong for the first turn of the game. We also play a Shaman with the attack Flower Storm, which is going to be our Prism Star. And this does 30 damage times the amount of basic energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So if we do get a lot of basic energy in play, we can try and get some cheeky 1-hit KOs with Shaman. Also having 8 HP means we can find this guy with Level Ball, and it does have free retreat. We also play a 1/1 Flaffy line just to make use of Dynamotor to accelerate some additional energy. A Raikou with a consistency boost for Fleet Footed, as well as Lightning Rondo, as well as a single copy of Tapu Koko, which is a nice pivot, but it's also got a really cool attack and alert that just allows us to draw 2 cards in a pinch. We also play 1 Tapu Koko GX. Admittedly, this is just like a rare card I had in my binder, so I just kind of thrown it in here. It does have a cool attack in the form of Air Tail, and Tapu Thunder can do a whole lot of damage. But realistically, this card isn't super great, so it's definitely the most cuttable card I would say from the list, besides maybe the Dragonite. 1 Vikavolt V, just because Polaris is always funny to try and enact on our opponent, and then the 1 Radiant Greninja to use concealed cards. So essentially that's like the main premise of the Singleton format, is that you're just using 1 copy of every card. Is this format consistent? No, not really, but that's kind of like part of the fun, and I think it makes for a really interesting challenge, as well as like just something fun to try out on the ladder, to be honest. I was surprised how much fun I was having with this deck on the expanded format ladder. Of course, you're playing against people who have multiple copies of everything in their deck, so when they look at your list afterwards, they're going to think it's pretty strange that you only run a single copy of everything. But either way, it's a lot of fun to try out, and I would recommend giving Singleton a go if you haven't already. So yeah, that's been this video for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.